So here's the conflict, right? We've been taught to focus on just racial tension between individuals, when the real conflict that we're facing is structural, right? It's not in the people, it's in the buildings. I am not what they label me. I'm not defined by fear. I am defined by truth. And today, I read between the lines. They needed a scapegoat, a face of fear, and they picked yours. Why? Not because of who you are, but because of what it keeps you from seeing. We've been trained to think that racism is just about the hatred between individuals. Black versus white, hate crimes, police brutality. But that's just the surface. It gets deeper. The truth? Racism isn't just interpersonal. It's not just between me and you. It's systemic. And the truth is, it was built that way on purpose. I used to think being black only meant I was being targeted because of my skin. But I never stopped to ask, who taught them to see me that way? And who benefits when I only see myself through that lens? So here's the conflict, right? We've been taught to focus on just racial tension between individuals, when the real conflict that we're facing is structural, right? It's not in the people, it's in the buildings. Therefore, while people go and argue about individual prejudice, the system still goes unchallenged. Our struggle is not just with each other, it's with the structure that writes the script that we all perform. Why do they want you to think racism is just about color? So that you never question the system that created the lie. So that you fight each other and you never fight them. It's the perfect strategy. So let's break it down. The word racism didn't even come into play about its modern form until the 1930s. Before that, it was terms like racial hierarchy, eugenics, and white supremacy that were way more common. Racism, by definition, is prejudice plus power. A system that only allows one group to dominate others based on race. That's important because a minority class can be prejudiced, yes, but it cannot be racist in the systemic sense. Why? Because racism holds the power to uphold prejudice institutionally, economically, and socially. Trump once used the term reverse racism. But how can there be reverse racism if the people being accused of it never held systemic power to begin with? This is why they're banning Black history, why they're attacking African American literature, and moreover, why they want to take out the African American Smithsonian Museum. Because the truth about racism exposes the lie of American history. If you know where you come from, you'll stop believing the lie of where you are. They don't want you to read your real history because once you do, you start to realize the game isn't just rigged, it's scripted. Therefore, we got to understand that racism is the mask, yes, but control is the face. They needed racism to keep power without any resistance. If they kept you thinking it was about the skin, you never stop to ask, who owns the company that paints it? Because the last time I checked, I'm not black, I'm a human. And here's the truth. They didn't just teach racism. They branded it. They marketed it and legislated it. And now, the fact that people are waking up and seeing what they're doing, they're trying to erase it so that they can go back over their steps. So, what do? You read your history, you teach your children, and you question every narrative that they hand to you. You stop asking, why do they hate me? And you start asking, why do they need me to believe that? It's like in the movie Sinners, right? The gentleman was standing outside, and they say, yeah, you don't want me to come in? You don't want to let me in? Oh, man, just tell me to come on in.
What y'all doing? Just step aside and let me on in now.
Why you need him to do that? You big and strong enough to push past us?
Well, that wouldn't be too polite now, would it, Miss Annie? I don't know why I'm talking to you anyway.
You have to give them permission to do you wrong. They can't do it without your help. Understand that. Racism was never meant to be solved. It was made to be followed, like religion, to keep you in your place, not by chains, but by stories. They told you racism was about color so that you never question who or what is in control. They erased your history so you never learn from your power. But now you're learning the truth. You're decoding the system. And once you can read it, you can rewrite it. Like Master Ugo said, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Don't let that go over your heads. Drop a comment if you ever felt like you were taught a lie about racism. Not only that, Share it with someone that needs to see beyond the surface, right? I'm trying to be intentional about this. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow me at Jatu True on all platforms. Like, comment, subscribe. Understand this is where literacy meets legacy. As always, find your why, face your why not, and walk in truth. The truth.